life. That's the life Nigerians have been subjected to, unfortunately so. Oh well, good morning to the show. This is VOP This Morning on Voice of the People Television. I'm Moses Humphrey. Good morning to you.
And good morning, and welcome to the Thursday edition of VOP Morning Show. VOP is Voice of the People. My name is Chukwuma Okoro.
All right, so let's let you into the conversation for today. The new Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has vowed to uphold integrity and fight corruption. Meanwhile, Yahaya Bello drags EFCC to the Supreme Court over the 8.2 billion naira laundry charges leveled against him. All right, so we'll be focusing on that and a few other issues.
Yes, President Tinubu plans cabinet reshuffle amid performance issues. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff raises concerns over security in Nigeria.
Oh yes, oh yes. So these are the issues that we'll be beaming our searchlight on this morning. And we'll be joined by individuals that will dissect these issues and give us a better understanding. All right, but for your benefits, for you to be part of the show, make sure that you join the YouTube channel. It's Voice of the People on YouTube, Voice of the People. It's spelled out in full. Click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell, so you get to know when we come your way every time that we do. And don't forget, on other social media platforms, follow us as well. We are at VOP TV Live on other social media platforms. We'll be going into the papers shortly just to take a look, a sneak peek, as it were, on the cover pages of the dailies. We'll do that in a bit. And then later at 9 o'clock, we'll have an in-depth analysis of those headlines. But in the meantime, Chukwuma.
Well, very interesting stories trending in Nigeria today.
Oh, yes.
As the presidency has said that it will stay out of NNPCL and Dangote petrol price clash.
He will stay out.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. The Nigerian government has officially declared that it will not intervene in the ongoing petrol price dispute between the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and Dangote Refinery. This announcement was made by President Bola Tinubu's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga. He emphasized that the petroleum market in Nigeria has been deregulated, allowing both NNPCL and Dangote Refinery to operate independently and set their own prices for petrol. Ononuga further explained that this deregulation is intended to benefit Nigerian consumers by fostering competition in the market. Currently, the lowest pump price of petrol stands at 895 naira per litre amidst the ongoing dispute between NNPCL and Dangote Refinery. Moses, isn't this interesting?
Oh, yes, it is interesting. He will stay out. I thought he was the Minister of Petroleum. He occupies that seat. So what's...
No, but I think he's taking a pure business and economic decision. Look, petroleum price has been deregulated. So government has no business wading into it. So let NNPCL and Dangote Refinery sort out themselves and sell fuel to Nigerians. So the pricing template, we used to have a PPPRA that used to set out the pricing template for petroleum products. What happened to that agency? I can't recall. They've been very silent. You know, it's actually an arm of NNPCL. You know, they were very, very active in those days, you know, trying to set price of petroleum products until I think diesel was deregulated. And when the diesel was deregulated, we got the information that, look, since diesel has been deregulated, there won't be scarcity and that the price will take a nosedive. I understand that for a while now, we've not had problems with supply of diesel. But the price of diesel has never come down. Yes. So it's interesting to know that the president has said that the government will stay out of the pricing template.
In staying out, that means the market forces, in quote now, will be determining the prices. How does that solve the problem of affordability for Nigerians?
Moses, technically speaking, I'm not sure that the government can stay out of this. You know why? This was the same president that ordered the NNPCL to supply in Naira to Dangote. You know, so, and Nigerians were asking, thank you, Mr. President, if you have given that order, is it also possible that you bring down, you know, if crude oil is selling at, for instance, $80 per barrel, is it possible you sell to Dangote at below that price, a little less than,
for the benefit of
Nigerians? So that, because the end point is to ensure that the price of fuel comes down, probably between 200 and 300 naira, considering the inflationary spikes and all of those things. Is that what will happen in the coming weeks? That is what we need to find out.
Well, we'll keep our eyes on that one, and we don't know how much staying out, what staying out really implies, but the price of the bottom line, what concerns the common man is that the price of PMS is brought down. 895 naira, that's what you would get it at NNPC retail outlets, which of course has been taken over now by O&O.
No, not
OVH.
OVH. OVH, which is owned by O&O.
Which is owned by O&O.
And OVH now owns the distribution arm of NNPC.
NNPC, yeah. Which is also linked to the president one way or another.
Yeah, you see, the issue is that it's more like an oligopoly, away from monopoly, which is even a worse form of monopoly, because you look at two entities, trying to capture a sector. I think that is what clearly has happened, considering the fact also that the NNPC said that at a point, the NNPC was the sole importer of petroleum, of fuel into Nigeria. And again, they said that they will be the sole buyer of Dangote fuel. Though we are not aware now whether other people, other marketers can buy. So all those things these are things that Nigerians need to know clearly. The position of the NNPC and that of the Dangote refinery. So Moses, if you ask me, I think it's not enough for the president to say government is going to stay away. He remains the petroleum minister. But like I said, the end point is Nigerians want to buy cheap fuel. Anyhow, the government does that.
Affordability, that's what Nigerians, and availability too. That's what Nigerians are concerned about. Anyway, away from the president's remark, the president has something else to say, as President Bola Tinubu has refused to sign a bill that sought to extend the retirement age of civil servants working in the National Assembly. Now, the bill, which proposed increasing the retirement age from 60 to 65 years and extending the tenure of service from 35 to 40 years, was met with considerable debate and opposition, of course. Well, President Tinubu explained that the decision to decline was in accordance with his constitutional powers and urged the National Assembly staff and management to accept it with understanding. What are your thoughts?
The National Assembly. We have a very interesting National Assembly.
They seem to be flying a kite yesterday. We talked about this yesterday.
Yes.
That this conversation around tenure elongation for civil servants might be in line with tenure elongation, possibly for the lawmakers themselves, which might tilt towards tenure elongation for the presidency itself if care is not taken. But what are your thoughts?
Moses, I think whatever it is, the National Assembly we have in Nigeria today, like some people will agree, has clearly become self-serving. Self-serving to the point that they are so much interested in, giving themselves, so much interested in. I'm looking for the superlative to describe their actions. The intentionality is so intense. Everything they want to do revolves around their own benefits. We have a federal civil service law which states that retirement age is 35, whichever comes first, 35 years of service or 60 years of age. Now we have a National Assembly that wants to circumvent.
But regardless of that, that of lecturers has been increased.
Yes, there's a reason for that. We'll come to that. So is it not better to have a holistic, reinvention, a holistic rearrangement that will incorporate everybody? Looks like this is only intended for those that work in the National Assembly Service Commission, from 35 to 40 years of service and from 60 years of age to 65. What do they want to achieve? Is it that they are so productive, that we don't want to lose those 5 years?
Let me argue for now. Let me argue for.
Okay.
Now, yesterday we went through the papers and we saw that the percentage of Nigeria's workforce, the tax net now, those that are qualified to work, those that are actually working, and those that are retired, the percentage of those that are retired seems to be almost same thing with those that are getting into the workforce. Don't you think we should come to a point where we just might need to increase the age bracket for those that are within service, so they can work a little longer. That way, the tax net will be extended for some time, and then we'll have the same argument that we had for the lecturers. Use up those that are professionals in the field before you now talk of laying them off and having them delve into other things.
Moses, there are two issues I have with this proposition. One of the issues is that, look, if you want to extend the tenure or the years of service of civil servants, don't restrict it to the National Assembly.
Okay.
Let it run across board. Let it run through the civil service. That is one. Two, I'm against expanding the tax net. Clearly against that. You know why? Because the taxes we pay, we cannot account for them.
Well,
so why do you have to increase it? You are taxing Nigerians. You are removing subsidy. You are borrowing money. The economy is taking a nosedive. Infrastructure is dilapidated. We are not maintaining the old ones that we have. We are not building new ones.
That's the responsibility of those that have been saddled.
That's the responsibility of government. And like we normally say, the buck stops at the president's desk. If anything goes wrong in this country, whether it's insecurity, whether it's economy, whether it's policy or whatever, the president takes responsibility because he is the head of this government. So if they want to expand it, increase it, rather, they should, it shouldn't just be for members of the National Assembly Service Commission. And in retrospect, what we discussed yesterday, why would the Senate and the National Assembly want to extend their tenure from 4 to 5 years? What have they done with the 5 years given them? Moses, I don't buy that idea. I don't.
Oh, well, let's get into the papers now. Let's take a look at stories that made it to the cover pages of the dailies. We'll be back in 10 seconds.